MMA journalist Aaron Bronsteter uncovers what I think should be the biggest story in MMA right now regarding Conor McGregor. I'll tell you what that is in just a second here. My name is James Lynch. Before we get into today's video, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Okay, Aaron Bronsteter, full credit to him. My friend from TSN, nominated for Journalist of the Year. You can understand why with him doing some great research here on Conor McGregor. I think this should be the biggest story in MMA right now. And I'm not, here to talk about how certain sites are covering things, but I don't see a lot of sites having this on the front page of their website, and they really should, because this is a huge story that a lot of people aren't talking about. And maybe because it's McGregor, people don't want to, annoy anyone, piss anyone off. I'm not sure. I'm not here to speculate. But today we're just going to talk about what Aaron is discussing here, which is the fact that Conor McGregor has not been tested by USADA. And we're just going to go through the tweets here a little bit. And Aaron gives a lot of good evidence. This is really well done from him. I really want to highlight that. If you're not following Aaron, please go do that right now. But we're going to discuss everything he talks about here. So Aaron says, after cross-referencing the entire active UFC roster with USADA's athlete test history database, I found that Conor McGregor was the lone active fighter, aside from some athletes who signed after August 1st, not to be tested by USADA. That is a huge red flag. Now, for those who don't know, even if you're injured, even if you're off the sidelines, you're still getting tested by USADA. So Conor McGregor is not getting tested. That's a really bad look. Like, I know he's Conor McGregor, but I mean, this just seems like they're trying to hide something. Now, we can speculate a little bit here. Why would Conor McGregor take steroids? And again, McGregor's never been busted for steroids before. We're going to mention that. He's also never been accused of anything like this before. We should mention that right off the top here. This is not a past steroid abuser, but you do have to wonder, why is he not being tested? That is a very, very, very weird thing. And we'll dig into some more details here in a second. But we got to ask, why would Conor McGregor be using steroids? Now, I think the one that really comes to mind here, Conor McGregor obviously had that really bad injury in the Dustin Poirier fight. Maybe he's taking it for that. That would be the only thing you could think of, because as big as Conor McGregor is, why would he take steroids now to jeopardize his career? It just seems crazy. He's the biggest star in MMA. Why would you go and do that? So to me, I think if he is taking it, and again, nothing's been proven, I think it might be due to coming back a little bit faster from an injury. That's the only thing I can think of. Or maybe he really feels like he needs it to come back and get a win. Remember, he's coming off 2 losses. So that's something to consider as well as far as speculation goes. But again, McGregor's not been accused of anything. There's nothing alleged. It's just the fact that he hasn't been tested, which is a really bad look. Now, we're going to go through some of the details a little bit more, because I already know there's going to be Conor fans saying that, oh, big deal, he's not being tested, he's not fighting. But they still are supposed to test the fighters here, and we're going to go through that. McGregor's team in the UFC declined comment. No surprise there. I mean, what's McGregor's team going to say? Yeah, he hasn't been tested because, what would be their answer? UFC declining comment. Well, it's their biggest star. USADA provided TSN with the following statement. I'm not going to read it, but it's basically, saying that all fighters need to get tested here. So there we go. Now, here's a key detail in Aaron's findings as well. Among those who've been tested in 2022 are John Hathaway. And John Hathaway has not fought in forever. When was John Hathaway's last fight? We're going to look that up here right now. I mean, he hasn't fought, I want to say, in like 10 years. Has it been that long? Not 10 years maybe, but it's been a while. He last fought against Young Kim in 2014. So it's been a very long time since he last fought. So he's still getting tested. Travis Brown's still getting tested. I thought Travis Brown was retired, but apparently he's getting tested. Sheldon Westcott, same thing. All of whom have not competed in the promotion for more than 5 years. So this idea that they don't test athletes while they're out of action or they're injured. I know Chris Weidman's another name as well. Chris Weidman is still getting tested here. This is a big red flag, guys. Like, I don't know why this isn't a bigger deal in the media space right now. And again, Aaron points out that the USADA athlete test database was updated yesterday. So again, something's fishy's going on here. According to the UFC's anti-doping policy, the only way McGregor would be exempt from testing would be if his UFC contract was terminated or he provided the UFC with a written notice that he was retiring. McGregor is currently ranked number 11th in the official UFC lightweight rankings, which that's a whole other debate. Like, to me, I've always said, if you haven't fought in a year, you should be out of the rankings. But that's a different video for a different day here. But again, if you're looking at it here, something's fishy's going on here. And I know it's Conor McGregor, and I know they bend the rules with him a lot of times, but if he's not being tested, that to me makes the whole program pointless. I really feel that way. Like, listen, I love Conor McGregor. I think he's great for the sport, but this is a really bad look, and I would love to see how the UFC is going to respond to this. And here's the thing with Aaron. He's really putting his neck on the line here. Let's talk about some stuff with Aaron and who he works for. Aaron works for TSN. TSN is the Canadian rights holder for the UFC. So that means that the UFC is airing in Canada. It's their exclusive rights to show in Canada here. So, I mean, they're very close with the UFC here. Aaron could, I mean, I could see the UFC being very unhappy about this. He is uncovering something with the UFC's biggest star here. So the fact that Aaron went to these lengths here, I think just shows why he's nominated for Journalist of the Year. I mean, this is great reporting. I know the UFC's not going to be happy with this. Paradigm's probably not happy about this. His management group that has uncovered these findings about him not being tested here. So Aaron gets huge props here. Again, I give him so much credit for uncovering this, because I could see if, someone from Bloody Elbow did this, where they're not, relying on the UFC for access or things of that nature. We'll see if there's any repercussions here. And again, Aaron did nothing wrong. He's just outlining the facts that McGregor has not been tested here. So again, really bad look here for the UFC. I wonder if Dana's going to get asked about this. You'd have to think someone's going to bring this up. There's that fine line between access and the UFC, and a lot of, people don't ask the tough questions for that exact reason, because of access. We'll see if anything comes out of this. But to me, this should be the biggest story in MMA right now. The fact that McGregor has not been tested since he's been out of action against Dustin Poirier, which is, again, a really, really, really bad look here. So we'll see if anything comes out of this. If I have to make a prediction here, I don't think anything's going to happen. I think somehow this is going to get swept under the rug here, but it shouldn't. This should be the biggest story in MMA right now, especially when you have an athlete like McGregor who needs to be tested. Whether he's doing something right or wrong, it doesn't matter. They've got to be upfront about this, because otherwise the whole program is a complete joke. So that's my thoughts on it here. Is that this is a bad look. And like I said, my prediction is I don't think anything will happen here, but it should. And I also got to quickly give credit to MMA Joey, because I know he also did some findings on this on his channel a few months ago, and it's just a really, really, really bad look. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Even if you're a McGregor fan, you have to admit this is not a good look for him, with him potentially returning. I know he's doing some movies and stuff, but listen, if he's not fighting, he's got to let the UFC know. And like if he's retiring or what the deal is, but it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like he plans on competing again, even though we don't have any fights booked. So that's where the issue is here, is that if he is not retired, he is still supposed to let USADA know of his whereabouts. He's supposed to get tested, and none of that is happening here. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Lynch on Sports, and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/LynchOnSports. I'm James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.